I love the question, Dave. When my friend Ishmael called me a few years ago and asked, how can I get young men to reading? That's really the core of your question. And there are so many different barriers, but the one I focus on the most in this book is what I call the digital hook. It's no secret that most people in our culture are absolutely addicted to the screen, and that's iPads, their phones, their computers, their televisions, and they have little time for the written word. So, a few suggestions that I offer in this book and include to refuse to be lured in by screens, to be refuse to be lured in by images, and to pursue, as a result, discipline. Cal Newport, a man that I respect as an author, suggests actually setting a timer for a period of time, let's say 25 or 30 minutes. And I actually do this. And in that time period, you turn off all distractions. Your phone's off, the computer's off, the iPad's off, everything's off. I don't even take a phone call. In those times, I'll actually tell my secretary I'm taking this time. I can't take any calls. And so you would be amazed how much work you can accomplish if you set aside the screen for a few minutes. And then what I encourage people to do is do that several times during the day. Work for 30 minutes, take a break. Work for another 30 minutes, take a break, and become less focused on the screen. And one of the things, and I've taken a little bit of heat for this, is I encourage our church family from time to time to bring a physical Bible to church. More and more, I'm seeing people bring their phones and their iPads and their digital devices because it's convenient. It's so nice to have the Bible anywhere you are. But I'm a big believer, I'm a big proponent in having a physical copy of a Bible for several reasons. One is you can mark it up, you can write in it, you can take notes. And then if you think long term, I'm not going to be here forever. You're not going to be here forever. I want to be able to hand my Bibles, not just one Bible, but my preaching Bible and my study Bibles. I want to pass those on to my children and my grandchildren, to the next generation, and to leave a legacy. I can't do that with my phone. I can't do that with my iPad. So there are so many distractions that keep us from reading the physical books, but in my humble estimation, the worst distraction is what I like to call the digital hook.
Yeah, that's really good. Not to mention, like you're mentioning, all the distractions that come with using your phone at church. Because if it's anything like my phone doesn't stop going off. We're not talking about text. We're talking about Facebook, Instagram, now X, and YouTube, and it just goes on and on and on. And I am gonna be honest. I'm just as guilty as anybody because unfortunately I do take just my phone, and I should take my Bible too. So I'm gonna be 100% honest. But the benefits of that are also you're even if it's on, like at our church, it's the text is on the screen, so there's even that's not a bad thing for people who are visual. So I'm not gonna argue against that. But like to your point, having that copy of God's word open is so vital, because then you can look at what the pastor's saying and flip with the pastor, and not only that, you're getting more used to reading it yourself. So, yeah.
To speak to that point, Dave, it's interesting you should bring this up, and this is really for our pastor friends. I'm one who uses PowerPoint when I preach. I think because we live in a visual culture, I think we should take full advantage of that. But from time to time, I'll have people ask me, why don't you put all the Bible references on the screen? And I don't put a lot of those references on the screen for this reason. I want people to have their eyes focused on the Bible in their lap. I'll put all the quotes, I'll put all the references to other parts of the sermon, but very rarely do I include large sections of biblical text on the screen. And it's for this reason. I want people to focus their attention on their Bibles, their physical Bibles that they bring with them to church.
Yeah, that's smart. That's really good.